Hi, Internet. Welcome to the Troyan YouTube channel. It is Thin Lizzy Thursday, the #1 show on the internet where I cannot get the lighting to work. That's right. Out of all the shows on the internet that I'm involved with, Thin Lizzy Thursday is the one where I can't figure out lighting. Sun's coming in weird today. I don't know. So I adjusted with the settings. I moved myself around my office so you get to see the other side of my office. Ooh, the rare, elusive side of the office with Rocky and Dragon Ball VHSs and a Batman box set, globe, and other random items. But you're not here to see the random stuff that Greg has in his room when you're not looking. No, you're here to see what Thin Lizzy song I'm going to react to this week. So spoiler alert, I don't know what song it is yet. You know, because you clicked on the title of this video. I don't. So last week, we got a super rare, awesome Phil Lynott demo. So, sky's the limit on what we could get. So, all right, what am I rooting for this week? You know what? I'm rooting for that weird War of the Worlds stuff because I don't think I've ever listened to that in its entirety. I think I listened to like part of one song and then never even got through the entire track that Phil was on. So that'll be an authentic reaction because I remembered it being musically pretty weird and not what I wanted from Thin Lizzy, but it might be great in its own right. So you know what? I'm rooting for that. Um, so let's see what the random number generator gives us this week. Let's rock and or roll. All right, that's enough of that. Okay, whew. I was not ready for this week, but boom, we have got Cold Sweat off Thunder and Lightning. Oh man, this is um this is prime Thin Lizzy. This is one of their best songs. Um, Shoot, I was not ready. I was not ready for Cold Sweat. So this is off the band's final studio album. I think this is a John Sykes co-write. Let's see here. Pulling up the lyrics for this masterpiece of metal. Um, yeah, this is a freaking killer song. And general thoughts before going into the, this is a song that I would have on like most Thin Lizzy greatest hits albums, best of band. Like this is a prime essential cut in the catalog. One of the band's finest. Performed a lot on the tour for this album. It's a freaking absolute killer song, and basically just about the pitfalls of gambling. So this is another addiction song, but it's about being addicted to that sweet rush of the dice and horse races and all that good stuff. So yeah, let's you know what? Let's just dive right into Cold Sweat by Thin Lizzy. Yeah, just a really, it's a killer classic riff. It's easy to play, but it's mean, it's nasty, it freaking kicks ass. And just that nice little John Sykes squeal at the beginning. Mm, magnifique. You know what? It's so good. We're going to listen to that again. Rewind just a hair. song has such a great freaking pulse. Brian Downey, coming in on the drums there, just like the perfect transition, just the perfect, like everything about this intro is just perfect. It's got a great groove. It gets you pumped. It's mean. It's nasty. It's tough. Yeah, it's freaking great. Rewind just a hair.
I put my money in a suitcase and headed for the big race. I felt a chill on my backbone as I hung up the telephone. Stone cold summer and stone cold sweat running down the back of my neck. To lose means trouble, to win means double, and I got me a heavy bet. Cold, cold sweat.
Yeah, this is just a mean, nasty, hard rock song with great early 80s metal production. Lyrically, let's see what we got. I put my money in the suitcase and headed for the big race. I felt a chill up on my backbone as I hung up the telephone. Stone cold sober and stone cold sweat. Man, freaking great line. Running down the back of my neck. To lose means trouble. To win pays double, and I got me a heavy bet. Cold, cold sweat. It's about gambling. It's about, taking that big bet. And the thing is, you don't necessarily associate gambling with like early 80s metal. Like, it's not necessarily a lyrical theme that's common in that, but it just makes this seem like so much more epic than it would otherwise be. Like, this song has a great, great, awesome atmosphere. So yeah, let's get back to it.
Chances on the outside are looking pretty slim. I feel so lucky on the inside. I feel I'm gonna win. Stone cold summer and stone cold sweat running down the back of my neck. Take a little money, there's nothing left to lose, and I got me a heavy bet. Cold sweat.
And before we get into this guitar solo here, freaking great vocal by Phil here. It's just the right amount of charisma and aggression, and you know, it's definitely interesting to hear like the range that Phil is willing to go musically. Where last week was a very like new wavy kind of pop tune, and this is just aggressive kick-ass metal. And the thing is, you don't necessarily, need to have a frantic pace to be a kick-ass metal song, and you don't necessarily need to be like there's something to be said about just like a nice rock groove to a song. Where so many metal bands that do like the doomy, sludgy thing, it'll just drag on and on and on. And then other times, like it'll be thrash and just like going fast nonstop, which I tend to prefer more than the sloomy doom stuff. But this is just it has aggression and toughness without being too slow, without being too fast. It's just right. This is Goldilocks. We get into Phil's bed. Joking aside, but it's just so good, so good. And let's get into this great solo.
I've got a whole month's wages.
I'm gonna rewind after I just talk about how great the solo was. So I'll rewind a hair. So what's that solo to me is classic and up there with the great Randy Rhoads guitar solos. Like it is on that level. John Sykes, phenomenal guitar player, one of the all-time greats, and once again, I still don't understand there are like the things. It's not just the couple comments on the channel. There is actually a sizable chunk of the Lizzy fan base who listens to the Thunder and Lightning album and just like, it's not that great. Lower quality for Lizzy. Lyrically, I think this is a great vignette that Phil has painted for us. Um, Riff wise, I think this is one of the classic Lizzy riffs. Solos, very different than other Lizzy solos, but I think one of the best in the catalog. I have a friend of mine who's more into like modern metal, and he heard the Megadeth version of this first, and then went back and checked out the Thunder and Lightning version, and was surprised that the guitar solo was the same because he thought the Megadeth version was just like doing a more technical thing, going more over the top with than Lizzy would have, and then he found like, oh no, that's just faithful to the original. Like these guys could play and they could compete with the Megadeths of the world. They're not necessarily making the exact same kind of music, but this was fresh. This was competitive. I think it's still fresh and competitive. I absolutely love it and think it's great. So yeah, let's rewind just a hair, get back to it.
I haven't seen that much in ages. I might spend it in stages and move out to Las Vegas.
And freaking, I love that riff there. But I realize we haven't commented on the lyrics in a while, so let's get back to it. So they say from verse 2, they say chances on the outside are looking very slim. I've been so lucky on the inside, I feel I'm gonna win, which is just that the gambler lying to themselves, thinking that they're gonna win, and entering into that cycle of gambling addiction. And then on to the third verse. I got a whole month's wages. I haven't seen that much in ages. I might spend it in stages and move out to Las Vegas. Or I think it might have said or move out to Las Vegas. I have to go back and re-listen to that, but the idea that like to spend a month's wages on a bet is insane. But it just goes to show you like how deep this character has gone into it. So basically he's Michael Jordan, I guess. For those who watched The Last Dance, yeah, freaking great. Let's rewind, get back to it.
To Las Vegas. Stone cold summer and stone cold sweat running down the back of my neck. To lose means trouble, to win pays double, and I got me a heavy bet. Cold, cold sweat. I put my money in a suitcase. They say chances on the outside. I've got a whole month's wages. Stone cold summer and stone cold sweat. Stone cold crazy place another bed.
Yeah, freaking great. Love that. Love the outro. The leads in the end are great. The final lyrics. I put my money in the suitcase. You know, it's just sort of like riffing and vamping. They say chances on the outside. I got a whole month's wages. Stone cold sober and stone cold sweat. Stone cold crazy. Place another bet. I mean, what can you say? It's This is just a fine rock song. Um, Lyrically clever, not about the same old subject matter that you get in every single song, like "Girl, I love you," "Girl, I want to do things with you," or "Satan." Like it's an interesting subject matter. It a lot about the character from the lyrics, and the music that accompanies the lyrics is like there's sort of two different things that don't ordinarily go together, but the combination makes it something very distinct and unique, and neither is harmed by other. Like the lyrics aren't harmed by the hard riff, and the hard riff isn't harmed by the lyrics. They actually benefit each other. So it's both a it's a distinct rock song, and so like it's competitive with the new wave of British heavy metal at the time, but it's also lyrically up to par with old Thin Lizzy stuff. And so I think, and yeah, I think this is a fine piece, um, truly excellent. And now comes the tricky part. Where do we rank it? So let's see here. Where do we rank Cold Sweat? Oh boy, oh boy. Okay, okay. So we have to see. All right, so where's like an unreasonable place to put Cold Sweat? It's not going to be quadruple S, is it? Okay. So I think the best point of comparison. Do I like it better than the song Thunder and Lightning? No, no, I don't. Do I like it better than Freedom Song? Uh, this is like on the edge. Ah, man, all right. This is like on the edge. You know what? This could potentially change. I'm going to give it the slight edge over Freedom Song. Based that I think that Freedom Song is a stronger lyrical piece, but I think that Cold Sweat musically is superior. And so I'm going to put Cold Sweat above Freedom Song in a shocking upset for me. But yeah, that is where things stand today. Do a quick scroll of the list for those who want to take a look. Yeah, so that is where I'm feeling it today. Cold Sweat, Stone Cold Classic, as it were. Yeah, I no complaints with this one. If you have complaints with it, let me know in the comments below. Um, yeah, just another great Thin Lizzy masterpiece. And stick around for more of me in this exact frame because I've got a couple busy weeks coming up, so I'm recording these in advance. Let's see what one I get next in like 5 minutes for me and a week for everyone else. Bye, everyone.